Good morning, class 6. So, we are back with chapter number 1, Owls in the Family by Ruskin Bond. So, as I already gave you the gist during the online class, you must be knowing that it is quite awkward for us to keep pet like owl, but it was very regular to keep wild animals as pet for grandfather. Here the author's grandfather has a usual habit of collecting unusual pets which are generally not kept as pet in our houses. So one morning, I'm reading, going through the chapter, please follow it. One morning, we found a full-fledged baby spotted owlet on the ground by the veranda steps. So where was it found? The baby owlet was found by the veranda steps, and how did it look? It looked spotted, okay, means it was dotted. Owlet is baby owl. When grandfather picked it up, it hissed and clacked its bill. So what did it do? It made a sharp sound and it was hissing, means it was quite uncomfortable in the hands of grandfather. So it was showing its disturbance by hissing and clacking. But after a meal of raw meat and water, so grandfather gave that owl, that baby owl, some raw meat and water, and then it settled down for the day under my bed. So where did it settle down? It calmed down and went under author's bed. The spotted owlet, even when full grown, is only the size of a myna and has none of the sinister appearance of the larger owls. So the spotted owlet, when they do not grow much big, but it's only the size of myna. The full grown owl looks like myna and has none of the sinister appearance, means no evil appearance. Sinister is evil. No evil appearance of the larger owls. A pair of them may often be found in an old mango or tamarind tree, and by tapping on the tree trunk, you may be able to persuade the bird to show an inquiring face at the entrance to its hole. So, it stays in a hole, and if you go near to that old mango tree, author is telling us that when he usually goes to that mango tree and give a tap near its hole, it shows, it might convince the owl that it can show its face outside that hole. You may be able to see the bird. So the bird is not normally afraid of man, so they are never normally afraid of man, nor is it strictly a night bird. So that is not a night bird also, but it prefers to stay at home during the day, as it is sometimes attacked by other birds. So as they are small, they might be prey to some other big birds. So that is why they prefer to stay inside the hole during the day, as it is sometimes attacked by other birds who consider all owls as their enemies. So basically all the animals consider owls as their enemies, so that is why the larger birds, the birds bigger than the spotted owlet, might attack them. So that is why they try to prefer staying inside the hole. The little owlet was quite happy under my bed. So this baby spotted owlet was quite happy under a Ruskin Bond's bed. The following day, means the next day, a second owlet was found in almost the same place on the veranda, and only then did we realize that where the rainwater pipe emerged through the roof, there was a rough sort of nest from which the birds had fallen. So these owls had made their nest up the rainwater pipe, and from there these birds are falling down to that veranda steps. So one on the previous day one had fallen, and the other day the other bird has fallen because they were trying to fly from their nest, they couldn't, and they fell down. We took the second young owl to join the first and fed them both. So both were nurtured and cared very well by the author and the author's grandfather. When I went to bed, they were on the ledge just inside the mosquito netting, and later in the night their mother found them there. So on that very night, on the next day night, they were on the ledge of the bed, means at the edge of the bed, and be means the author can see them outside from that mosquito net, and then their mother owl have found them. So from outside, she crooned and gargled for a long time. So she was calling. The mother owl was calling these two baby owls. And so he was crooning and gargling for a long time. And in the morning, I found that she had left a mouse with its tail tucked through the mosquito net. So what she has done? The mother owl have bought a dead rat, okay, a dead rat, and kept a mouse and tucked its tail inside the mosquito net. Obviously, she placed no reliance on me as a foster parent. So the mother owl was not very sure that whether these baby owls were feeded or not, because the mother bird did not trust author and his grandfather. So that is why she left a dead mouse tucked inside the mosquito net for the birds, for the baby birds or baby spotted owlet to eat. The young birds thrived, and 10 days later at dawn, grandfather and I took them into the garden to release them. So after 10 days, during the morning, means before morning, they were taken to the garden to be released. I had placed one on a branch of the mango tree, and one was stooping to pick up the other. So the author had just placed one on the mango tree and was bending down to get the other one. When I received quite a heavy blow on the back of my head. So suddenly he realized somebody struck him on the back of his head. A second or two later, the mother owl swooped at grandfather, but he was agile enough to duck out of its way. So the second, after 2 or 3 minutes, he saw that mother owl was coming forward towards grandfather, but grandfather narrowly escaped from that attack of mother owl. So the mother owl was quite angry, and she thought that their baby was in danger, and that is why she was trying to attack the author and his grandfather. But grandfather, being very agile, being very active, he ducked, means he bent down at the right time, so the owl couldn't attack. Quickly, I placed the second owl under the mango tree. Then from a safe distance, we watched the mother fly down and lead her offspring into the long grass at the edge of the garden. So, the mother bird came down in the garden, and she was trying to hide her babies in that long green grass. We thought she would take her family away from our rather strange household, but next morning, on coming out of my room, I found two young owls standing on the wall just outside the door. So, on the very next day, the author surely thought the mother will take their two young spotted but the two owlets were still there. On the very next morning, the grandfather and the author both saw the two young owls standing on the wall just outside the door. I ran to tell grandfather, and when we came back, we found the mother sitting on the bird bath 10 yards away. So bird bath, जहाँ पे पंछी क्या करते हैं, नहाते हैं. So there was a thing, like a bowl-shaped thing was there. So the mother spotted owlet came there. She was just 10 yards away from them, and she was evidently feeling sorry for her behavior the previous day, because she greeted us with a soft hoo hoo. So now, on the very next morning, that mother who was attacking the author and the grandfather was no more attacking them. He was in a very polite manner, as if that mother owl was trying to tell sorry by doing soft hoo hoo to the author and the and his grandfather, because the mother owl must have realized that that her babies were quite safe with author and grandfather. So till here for the day, students, we'll continue in the next class the part 2 of it. Okay, it's a very interesting chapter, and you will have fun reading this chapter. Okay, in word wise you can see spaghetti. Spaghetti is another word for noodles. It comes from the Italian word spago, which means string. You know, noodles are like string. So spaghetti is another word for noodles. We get to know this. Okay. So that's all. Read till where I have read. Try to understand it by reading it, and try reading it back at home so that it will enhance your reading skill. Don't just sit idle, just read it loudly so that it goes into your mind and your ear. Okay, if it goes to your ear, it will go to your mind and you can easily understand it and listen to what I have explained. Okay, thank you, bye bye, have fun.